simplify expressions, that was a typo on my end. So just write 8 problems for the home plate for tonight, for the agenda. Alright, so warm-up number 4, here you go. So warm-up number 4 reads, simplify. Number 1, 17 minus 8 plus 2. Number 2, negative 2x minus y plus, parentheses, negative 5x plus, parentheses, negative 4y plus 2. And then it says solve. Number 3, negative 46 equals 23 plus x. And number 4, 8x equals negative 40. Copy that and work those out. You have about 5 minutes. Ready, go. Alright, let's see. Let's get this started. Help me with number 1. Jaziel, what'd you get for number 1?
11.
11. Okay, let me wait for my screen. Okay. Yeah. 11. Hands, have you got 11 for number 1? Good. Thank you. Pass someone, Jaziel.
What?
Pass it to someone, number 2.
Oh, Daniel Ortega.
Danny, what'd you get for number 2?
Negative 7x minus 3y.
Negative what?
7x minus 3y.
Minus 3y, or negative 3y minus 7x, or with a plus in between. Right now it doesn't matter the order. Right now I just want to see if you got something like that. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Pass someone.
Octavio.
Octavio, number 3.
Can you call me again?
Yeah, Octavio, number 3. Like that?
No, can you like skip over?
That was good, right? That was good? Yeah? Okay, number 4. Help us out, Alyssa. What'd you get for number 4?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Hands, have you got that? That is incorrect. Who got x equals negative 5? Yeah. Alright, good. Yeah, we're no longer in expressions, guys. So when you give me a response, it has to be in an equation form. Okay? Alright, who have number 3, guys? Oh, Octavio. Octavio, number 3.
I got x equals negative 69.
Negative 69. Hands, have you got that? Pretty close. The actual answer was negative 69 equals x. Yeah, because the x is on the right side and you just took the... Anyways, I'll take both, but yeah. Alright. Alright, so we good with that. Next, get your home plate from last night in front of you, please. And lock your toolbar and take a picture of your home plate from last night. Submit that, please. Where is that?
Mr. Q.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how to do all that through Nearpod. Could I just send you the email after?
Yeah, that's fine.
What if I wasn't here at like
last week.
Okay, so for those of you that are barely joining us, go to my YouTube channel, 23 Mr. Q.
Right now?
No. On your spare time, since you have a bunch of spare time left, right? So you go to the YouTube channel, and in the YouTube channel, I'm uploading the lessons every day. The new lesson every day is uploaded, so make sure you go there and watch the videos that you are missing, and then just act like tomato and catch up. Bam. Make sure you take notes and follow along as on that lesson. Okay.
Mr. Q,
Yeah.
can I get the Nearpod code? Is that on the top left?
Yeah, it's always on the top left. So, guys, when you,
Okay.
if you get kicked out of Nearpod or Zoom, you come back in, and the code will always be on the top left of the screen for the live Zoom. Right now, when we continue, I'm going to go ahead and continue and give a code for those of you that are watching on YouTube. I'm going to give you the code that you can follow along on Nearpod by yourself, advancing the slides. Okay?
So we can only submit through Nearpod?
Yes. Nearpod has. I'm going to give you slides on Nearpod where you have to lock your toolbar and then submit work through there.
And then take a picture.
Yeah. You take a picture of your work, because I want to see with your actual hand what you're doing in class. Okay.
Mr. Q?
Yes.
I have 1 through 5 from last night on one page, but then I have the last one on a separate page, but it only lets me put one photo at a time. So
It actually lets you put more. It lets you.
Really?
Yeah. So take a picture, move it to the side, take a second picture of the other, and move it to the side, and like that you can fit both in there. All right. So I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to go to my PowerPoint presentation. So like that, you guys can start copying the home plate for tonight as people are still submitting yesterday's home plate. So here's the home plate for tonight. It's only 8 problems. Copy those. You have, I'll give you, 5 minutes. Ready? Go. Copy that. All right, so once again, the home plate is 8 problems, and we're solving equations and inequalities in one variable. So just to recap, let's see, we started with hold on. Started with our warm-up, number 4. From there we went to, for those of you once again watching on YouTube, here's your Nearpod code that you can type in and get into Nearpod and forward the presentation by yourself. FZPGW, that's your Nearpod code. And remember, when you log in, put your period first, which is whichever period I have you in, and then your first name and last name. Previous home plate, we already turned that in. And today's home plate, 8 problems. All right, let's move on. Our objective for today, I can solve one variable equations and inequalities. Write that down at the bottom left of your notes. I can solve one variable equations and inequalities. So the question is, what is the concept for today? What is the main idea? One variable equations and inequalities. All right, and what are we doing with them? We're solving, okay? All right. So, really quick, a quick recap. Now, most of you that have been with me, I do this intro every time that we get into equations and inequalities. This is going to sound and look familiar for those of you that haven't been with me. Hopefully, this will clarify some of your doubts in regards to equations and inequalities. So, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Here we go. So, according to what we present in equations and equations and inequalities come from a balanced scale. So for example, let me show you really quick. Let's say I had this scale, and you're saying, I haven't seen those scales, Mr. Q. Yeah, in the past, they used to have these kind of scales in regards to making commerce and weighing things. So now I know that in the markets, they don't really have this kind. They have only the one that has only one dish or one pan to two-way stuff. And hold on, let me get this zoomed out. Okay, there it is. So here's how it looks. So let's say the table's down here. Oh, it's a little crooked, not bad. There it is. And the scale usually has a bar right here to hold it in place. It has a base. And let's say back then I would go to the market and I would go and I want to buy frijoles. And I'm all like, yes, can I have 2 pounds of frijoles? All right. So they put a sack on one of the sides like this. And they start pouring in beans in here. How would they know when to stop in regards to 2 pounds of frijoles? Well, back then they had something that was made out of metal that looked like this, and it's called a weight, and it would be labeled either 1 pound or 2 pounds, and when the scale was even, then guess what? That's when it was the actual weight. So at that point, it was equal. So from here, if you look at it, this is where we get the equal sign. Look at the top bar, look. Here's my top bar. Look at the table down here. If you put them together, it's an equal sign. You guys see it? Yeah, all right. And this is how the scale works. So let's say I was to put weight on one side, over here. And I'm missing weight on the other side. But to make it equal, then guess what? I need to put weight on the other side so like that it can stay equal. That's an equation. Or vice versa, if I was to put weight on the other side and so on and so forth. Well, when it's equal, it's an equation. But when it's not equal, it's an inequality. Look up. Look. So what do I have on the left side of the scale? I have 8 pounds. So if I was to write this out, I would write 8. 8. And on this side I would write 11. Now question, where was the bar originally? Originally the bar was about right there. Is that correct? Yeah. Now do you guys see the arrow pointing that way? Yeah. That's where we get the inequality from. So that means either they're equal, and if they're not equal, then they're inequalities. Equal, not equal. Equations, inequalities. Does that ring a bell? Is it coming back? Yeah? You guys remember that? Some of you? Yeah? Alright. So, with that said, in your FAIR model, one variable equations and inequalities. Definition, copy this down. What are one variable equations and inequalities? They are, according to the definition, it says 2 expressions equal or not equal to each other that contain one variable. Let me zoom into the example so you guys can see that. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. Alright, so definition says 2 expressions equal or not equal to each other. So if I was to look at this first example, if I was to cover this up, is this an expression? Yes. If I move this to the other side, is 25 an expression? Yes. Are they equal to each other? Yes. Do they have one variable? Yes. Okay. Let me go over now to inequality. If I was to cover this, is 25 an expression? Yes. If I was to move this over here, is 3x plus 2 an expression? Yes. Are they equal to each other? Not necessarily. This one has an inequality, so that means that they are not completely equal to each other. Do they have one variable? Yes. And look at the other examples. One variable, expression equal to another, one variable, not equal to each other. Okay. So according to the definition, it's expressions that are equal or not equal to each other. Alright. Let me show you some non-examples. X plus 5 minus 25 and 4x plus 6 equals negative 2y. Copy those. As you're copying those two down, think about it. Why are those not one variable equations and inequalities? And I'll call on someone. Why are those not one variable equations and inequalities? x plus 5 minus 25, that's one none example, and the other one is 4x plus 6 equals negative 2y. Alright, let's see. This first one right here. Hayden, why is this not a one variable equation or inequality? What do you notice?
It doesn't have an equal sign.
Right, it doesn't have an equal or an equality sign. So if it's not an equation or inequality, that means this is a what? This is an expression only. That is correct. Very simple, yeah? Hayden, pass to someone.
Like I call on someone?
Yeah.
Or what? Miles?
Miles, why is this one not a one variable equation or inequality?
Because it has two variables.
Because it has two variables, that is correct. So that one would be a two variable equation. That is correct. Alright, so today we're going to be working with these kinds. So if you were to take a picture of this and send it to your peeps via your social media app, whatever that is, hashtag it. Hashtag the picture. What are one variable equations and inequalities? Alright. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. Matthew, give me one. Hashtag what?
Hashtag one variable.
One variable. Thank you. Bianca, another one. Hashtag what?
Hashtag inequality.
Inequalities. And one more, Angie.
Hashtag two expressions.
Two expressions. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. I'll do one more. Hashtag bam. It's cool. But that's me. Alright. Move on. Alright. So, steps. These are the steps that we're going to use to solve equations and inequalities, and it's going to ring a bell for some of you. You're like, oh snap, Mr. Q, I remember these. Yeah, right? So, you're not going to write the whole thing. You're only going to write the first word so you can remember the step or the process. Step 1, simplify. Step 2, isolate. Step 3, plot. Step 4, check. Once again, step 1, simplify. Step 2, isolate. Step 3, plot. Step 4, check. Is it coming back for some of you? Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Simplify, isolate, plot, and check. Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Yes?
Does all of this go in the, like, these steps, do they go in the Cornell notes?
Yeah, it goes in the Cornell notes, and usually when you write your Frayer model, right underneath you can fit the steps there, and then continue with the work in the back. Okay? So once again, you don't write the whole thing, just write the words, so like that it can remind you of the steps. So let me elaborate on the steps. Step 1, simplify. But what are we simplifying? Each side of the equation. So since we know that each side of the equation or inequality are expressions, we need to simplify each expression to its lowest terms, or as simplified as you can, each side. From there, when you cannot simplify anymore, you need to isolate the variable. What does that mean, Mr. Q? Leave the variable by itself. And what are we using? We're using inverse operations to leave the variable by itself. Anything that's around it, you need to get rid of it by doing its inverse. Step 3, we're going to plot the solution on the real number line. And step 4, we're going to check our solution. Okay? Alright, let's move on. Alright, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. I'm going to go over some simple examples just to refresh in your memory, and hopefully this rings a bell. So writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Here we go. Alright, it says, one-step equations. I'm going to do some that are equations, some I'm going to change them to inequalities, and hopefully you remember. Here we go. So to solve this one, I'm going to follow the process I just gave you. So let me get started. Me, Mr. Q, I like to divide my equation or inequality so I can see each side clearly. There it is. So if I look at the left side, can I simplify the left side anymore? No, I can't combine x and 2 anymore, and that's it. How about the right side? No, that's as much as I can do. All right, so step 1, simplify. I can't do anything. Step 2, isolate the variable. What does that mean, Mr. Q? I need to leave the variable by itself using inverse operations. What's next to it? Plus 2. What is the inverse? Minus 2 minus 2. And we're left with x equals 23, Michael Jordan. Alright? So now that I have that, now what is third step? Plot your solution. So I'm going to plot this on the number line. Here's my number line. 0, dot, dot, dot. 23 is about right there. And there's my solution on the number line. Step 4, check your work. What does that mean, Mr. Q? So that here instead of x, what goes here instead of x, guys? The value that we just found. So let's see. This becomes 23 plus 2 equals 25. What is 23 plus 2? 25. Is 25 equals to 25? Yeah, and that's how we check the work. Once again, you don't copy this. I mean, if you want to copy it, that's fine, but don't copy this just to review, because right now we're going to get moving. This one is very similar, so I'm going to change it to an inequality, less than or equal to. Okay, there it is. But the process is the same. That's why I'm trying to convey here that both of them have the same process. So here we go. Can I simplify the right side? No. The left side? No. Next, isolate the variable. I need to leave y by itself. What's next to it? Minus 8. What is the inverse? Add 8. Add 8. We got 20 less than or equal to y. Alright, let's plot the solution for this. 0, dot, 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 20. Since it has an equal sign, look up this. That means it's a solid point. It includes that point. However, for inequalities, let's see if you remember, for inequalities we need to shade a certain region of all the solutions possible. How do we do that, Mr. Q? Well, I used to tell you, test a number. What's the other number other than 20 on the number line right now? 0. I substitute that here for y. Bring down the inequality, bring down the number, and then I read it to see if it's true. Is 20 less than 0? No, that's false. Since it's false, that means 0 does not work. So where is 0? On the left side of 20. That means I'm going to shade where? On the opposite direction. The solutions are all the way on that side. Is it coming back? Yes? And how do I check, Mr. Q? Well, select a number from here. What number do you think I'm going to select from this section, guys? That's right. I'm going to select 23. So here I'm going to substitute it in here. 12 less than or equal to 23 minus 8. 12 is less than or equal to 15. Is 12 less than 15? Yeah, it's true. That's why it's part of the solution over here. Is it coming back? Yes? Once again, you may or you may not want to copy that. Like I said, I'm not asking you to copy it. It's just to refresh your memory, because right now we're going to crank it up a notch. Let me go over this example down here. Line down the equal sign. Can I simplify either side? No, I need to leave a by itself. What is negative 2 doing? Multiplying, so I need to divide by negative 2. And check this out. I'm going to change this. Look up. To an inequality, less than. Divide by negative 2. You're like, Mr. Q, is that part of the process? No, I'm saying I'm starting off with an inequality, but I need to show you something right now. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so we're left with a. Now, for inequalities, let's see if you remember. What happens when we multiply or divide by a negative number? Tell your neighbor, whoever's there, your dog, your cat, your sandwich. Yeah. You flip the inequality symbol. You flip it. And we're left with 14 divided by negative 2 is negative 7. Remember that, because you're going to be doing that for home plate. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, when you have inequalities, you need to flip the symbol. Let me do this one right here. Can I simplify either side? No. Let's see. I need to leave m by itself. What's happening here? 4 is dividing, so what is the inverse? We multiply times 4, multiply times 4. We're left with m equals negative 12. And do we know how to plot and graph and check? Yes. Alright, show me your fingers how comfortable you are with simple equations and one variable inequalities. Yeah, 5s, 10s, 4s, 5.5, 6, okay. Yeah, I got you. Some of you need a manicure. Alright, let's continue. So, with that said, let's crank it up a notch. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Too easy? This one, yes. Alright, check this out. Write your utensils down, look up to the screen. Please, pretty please, with a cherry on top. Alright, so let's see my awesome tool here. Alright, so it says 2/3 r plus 3/4 equals 7/12. So let me zoom in for this one. Now, this one solved just a tiny bit different. Now, we can work with fractions, which you guys love fractions, or we can get rid of the fractions. So here goes the process that I showed some of you, and some of you already know. To get rid of fractions, we need to first start with identifying the common denominator. Look at these three denominators, 3, 4, and 12. What's our common denominator? The common denominator is 12, and I need to multiply the entire equation times 12, but I'm only multiplying the numerators. So that is 24 over 3r plus 12 times 3, that's 36 over 4. 12 times 7, that's 84 over 12. Now, Mr. Q, why did we do that? Because on the next step, we simplify the equation to get rid of the fractions. Watch. What is 24 divided by 3? 8r plus. What's 36 divided by 4? 9. And what's 84 divided by 12? 7. Alright, and the rest is history. Check this out. Once again, here goes the process. Can I simplify either side? No. I need to isolate the variable. What's next to it? Plus 9, so I subtract 9, subtract 9. 8r equals negative 2. What's my next step? To leave r by itself, I need to divide by 8, divide by 8. Let me move this up. And that leaves us with r equals negative 1/4 or 0.25. Copy that, and then you're going to do the second one by yourself. And you zoom out. So copy this one, and then you're going to copy the second one and work the second one by yourself. 2/5 x plus 3/10 equals 1/20. I'll give you guys some time. Ready, go. All right, let's see. Dominic, what is our common denominator for the second equation?
20.
20. Hands if you got that. Yeah, that is correct. So we distribute to the numerator. We get 40 over 5x plus 60 over 10 equals 20 over 20. From there you simplify. 40 divided by 5 is 8x plus 6 divided by 10 is 6. 60 divided by 10. 20 divided by 20 is 1. And the rest is history. Line down the equal sign, isolate the variable since we can't simplify anymore. Minus 6 minus 6. 8x equals negative 6. And then lastly, we divide by 8. Divide by 8. X equals negative 3/4. Oh, wait. My bad. This was a 5, right? Sorry. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. So then it's not 3/4. My bad. It's x equals negative 5/8. And if you got decimal, you should have gotten negative 0.625. Yeah, let's go. Hands if you got that. Yeah? Okay. Let's move on. Alright, here we go. Alright. look at this one. Once again, writing utensils down. I'm going to go over this one really quick. Well, I mean, in my mind, I think it's really quick, but my computer says otherwise. We have solve negative 8x minus 21 plus 5x equals negative 15. And if you notice, we still have more steps, but now we still have variables on one side. I draw my line down, and I'm going to make this one an inequality so you can see that the process is the same. So step 1, simplify. Can I simplify the left side? Yes, I can combine the negative 8x with a positive 5x. That leaves me with negative 3x. Bring down the negative 21, less than or equal to negative 15. Next, I need to isolate the variable since I can't simplify anymore. So what do I do here? Inverse operation. So I add 21, add 21. I'm left with negative 3x less than or equal to 6. And I still need to leave the x by itself. What's my last step? Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Who remembered what to do? If we have an inequality and we're dividing and multiplying by a negative, what do we do, everyone? You flip the symbol. X is greater than or equal to negative 2. Copy that and work on the second one. See what you get for the second one, please. And the second one reads 4 equals 2x plus 8 minus 6x. Copy that. I'll give you some time. Go. Let's see, who haven't I picked to participate? How about Kenneth? What'd you get for the second one? For your solution, x equals, or what equals x?
X equals 1.
X equals 1 or 1 equals x. Hands, have you got that? Yes? Combine like terms. 2x minus 6x, that's negative 4x plus 8 equals 4. Isolate the variable, so that means we need to subtract 8. Subtract 8. Negative 4 equals negative 4x. And last but not least, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. So we're left with 1 equals x. If you went the other way, then x equals 1. Okay? Alright. Tell me what fingers how come you are with these. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Okay. Yeah. 5s. And once again, I don't know if you noticed, we are still barely with variables on one side of the equation or inequality. Yep. You know what's coming, right? One last excuse me, one last one of these. Don't write this down, just pay attention. It says solve multi-step equation inequality, and then we have 2x plus 1 divided by 3 equals 7. 2x plus 1 divided by 3 equals 7. So to solve this one, once again, I need to simplify each side. So if I was to draw a line down here, let's see. I need to leave the x by itself. Can I simplify any more? No. I need to use inverse operations. I have addition and I have division. So I need to start with division because we're working our way backwards from order of operations. To get rid of 3, the 3 is dividing. What is the inverse? I multiply times 3. We're left with 2x plus 1 equals 21. And then the rest is history. We still need to isolate this one. Minus 1, we get 2x equals 20. And then at the last step, divide by 2, x equals 10. Alright, copy that so you can have it as a reference, and then I'm going to move on to the other one. Alright, so this one, if you want to copy it so you can practice later on, but it's the same as, very similar to the one on the home place, so it's up to you. But this is the one that you needed. Alright, let's move on. So now check this out. We arrive to these. Copy that one, and it reads, solve 7n minus 2 equals 5n plus 6. 7n minus 2 equals 5n plus 6. So if you notice on this one, I'm pretty sure you notice, now we have variables on both sides of the equation. Now to prove a point, once again, I'm going to change the equation sign to an inequality. What have we learned? That the process is the same for both. So here we go. Let me change that to an inequality. Alright, so I'm going to make it less than. So we have 7n minus 2 less than 5n plus 6. So here goes the process. Line down the equal sign. Can I simplify the left side anymore? No, I can't combine 7n with negative 2 anymore. I'm done. How about the right side? 5n plus 6? No, I can't simplify anymore. Alright, step 2. Isolate the variable. We need all variables to one side. Like I told you guys and showed you guys in the past. What's the smallest variable to start with to get it to the other side? 5n. If that's a positive 5n, we use inverse operations. What is the opposite of a positive 5n? Minus 5n minus 5n. This cancels. We're left with 2n minus 2 less than 6. Do you know what to do from there? Yeah, finish it off, please. So here you should have identified your variable, used inverse operations, plus 2 plus 2, 2n less than 8, and last but not least, divide by 2, divide by 2, n is less than 4. Now for the sake of tonight's home play, so that you can practice on your own, I'm not going to ask you to graph or check, just to solve, and I just want you to get plenty of practice. So, if you notice, the process still remains the same. Simplify each side, smaller, get all variables to one side, and so on and so forth. Alright, so now check this out. Look at this one. Don't copy this. Can I simplify the left side more? Yeah, I need to distribute the 2, and then the rest, we know what to do. Look at this one. Copy this one. This will be our last one. And it reads, solve. 4 minus 6a plus 4a equals negative 1 minus 5 times 7 minus 2a. And 7 minus 2a are in parentheses. Alright, let's do this one together. I'm going to draw a line down the equal sign. Line down the equal sign so I can see which side I'm working on. Alright, so look at the left side. Can I simplify the left side? Yes. Combine like terms. What is negative 6 plus 4? Negative 2a. Bring down the 4. This one. Alright, can I do anything else with this? No, it's already simplified. Okay. Let me go to my right side. So let's see. I can't combine this because the negative 5 is outside the parentheses, so I need to distribute that into both terms. So I'm left with negative 1. Negative 5 times 7, that's negative 35. Negative 5 times negative 2, that's positive 10a. Am I done with the right side? No. I can combine like terms. These two, what do I have? Negative 36 plus 10a equals 4 minus 2a. Okay, let's continue. Since I'm already simplified both sides, which is the smallest variable you want to start with? Negative 2a. What is its inverse? Plus 2a. We do that to both sides. We're left with 4 equals negative 36 plus 12a. Next, now I have my variable over here. I need to get rid of the negative 36. What do? Plus 36 plus 36. We're left with 40 equals 12a. And what's my last step? Divide by 12, divide by 12. And that leaves me with, let's see, giant 1a. And over here, 12 fits in there 3 times, and I have 4 12s left, or 3 1/3 equals a. How we doing? Good? Okay. And it just continues building, guys. Basically, that's all it is. So we already covered expressions. We already covered equations and inequalities. So show me with your fingers how comfortable you are with one variable, equations, and inequalities multi-step. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. I got some 5s, some 5s, some 5s, some 5s. Some 4s, 5 4s, 5 4s. Okay. Yeah, we just need practice, right? And some of you need a manicure. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to let you guys go. So once again, work on that home play for tonight, and it's only 8 problems. And if you have questions or whatever, just go ahead and email me. I'll try and get back to you. And those of you that were not able to submit your home play, once again, take a picture, submit that via email, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. All right? Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your home play. Bam. Peace.
Later, Mr.
Later, guys.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Well,